Clarkson tool and cutter grinder Mark 1 refurb part 5. Changing the motor bearings. Straightforward job, eh? Maybe not. I've had a sleep on this and we've successfully changed the grinding head bearings. So now I'm going to do the motor bearings. I had a look at it earlier. I didn't change these because I was just trying to manage risk, really. Now this is interesting. I've wiggled the end cover off, but look at this plate here. It just kind of spins free. So if you take those end cover screws out, maybe to grease it or something, and that gets turned like that, you'll never get those screws back in again. So this is the cover that came off, and the end plate goes there and the two screws go through. So luckily enough it was stuck with grease when I looked at it last time. Gummed it with paint, of course, 2BA size. I will bet you anything that we hit a snag with this somewhere. I just have that feeling. We'll see, won't we? I shouldn't really worry until I'm faced with the problem, but convenient tabs on it. Ooh, of course, the whole thing's coming out now. Now then. There's not much wrong with these bearings actually. If I bring this up to the mic, you probably hear my gloves more than the bearings. In fact, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this one. Somebody gave me this as a drill, complete, but it was ruined. But I kept the stand because I knew someday I would have a use for it. I didn't have this in mind, of course, but oh, this is tight. Oh dear, dear. Oh, that is so tight. Why? This is a press job. Goodness me. I got it with this, but it took some. This bearing is a bit short. The end bells are not too bad. It's just where the bearing goes on the shaft that's the difficult bit. Oh, I think we might be lucky. It doesn't quite want to give up. Yeah, the outboard bearing's completely gone. Listen. And the inboard one isn't great either. Not terrible, but it's not that good. The bearings have arrived. Now this time I went for economy bearings. I couldn't see the point for this motor paying for branded well-known bearings at 2.5 times the price. So I think they were about £16, so that's about $22 US. Imperial deep groove bearings, but rubber seal. Let's do it in the reverse order. So pulley end first. Bearing retainer. Bearing. This might look a bit dodgy on the edge of here, but I've got a big press plate there, like a really deep fat washer thing. And now it's on a cup as well. Try not to catch that. Other end. Can you see I've not pulled that bearing fully in? I've got the screws into this retaining plate from the other side, but there's a gap there where my finger is, and I'm hoping to gain some at this end to get the screws into that plate at this end. I must be going about this the wrong way. So screwdriver through. Hold that in place, you see. Aha, right. Well, after quite a lot of fiddling around, I've managed to get one screw to catch. I've got this screw to catch now, so I'll pull that in a bit, slide it round with this out. Yes, it's gone. The screw slots are quite narrow and shallow, but I think we're in. So I just need to bring that bearing fully in to this now. Last push, hopefully. Done. Finish that. So, spindle, free as anything, armature, fine. End float, feels fine. Turn it on. Why is it like that? What is going on? I've loosened off these end caps. Doesn't make any difference. It's got a vibration going on it. Do you think the rotor's out of balance? Weird. I wonder if that rotor's out of balance, but what's the noise? More work. Well, somehow I've got these end bells swapped over. I can see my blue marks, pen marks, don't quite line up, so I'm sure I've got them the wrong way around. I can't believe it would make any difference at all, but I will swap them over because anyway, I want to take it apart and see what on earth is causing that vibration. That spins as easy as anything, look. So I don't understand. Didn't I say there would be complications with this? And while I'm at it, I'm waiting for this thing to ping onto the floor. While I'm at it, or should I say whilst I'm at it, really, I'm going to check that this rotor is balanced. I don't see any balancing holes in that. I don't know, maybe they're really good and they make them in perfect balance. I was hoping I was going to find that this was hopelessly out of balance, hence the vibration. Well, it's not that bad, but there is a bit of a hint of it. Now, I've still got these on for the moment. So if I spin it, it generally stops with this bit of darker lacquer towards the top. So they just look, again, not quite that time, nearly, again. So I think there is a heavy spot on it. Now, occasionally, when you start your lathe up and you spin it, it will stop at the same spot. Again, another indication. Now, it's not conclusive, but it's a clue. Again, see, there's a lot of drag on the bearings, and also when I put a clock on it, I've put a clock on there, and that runs true, but this doesn't run true. There's a high spot on it, I think it's there where that mark is, about 6 thou, so 15/100ths of a mil. I won't put the clock on it again because just trust me, that's what it is. So this bit is sticking out a bit more than the other side. So I'm going to take the bearings off, get these off. This isn't going to help. I mean, I don't know how far it has to be out of balance to give you vibration at 2,800 RPM. Not far, I suspect. Before I went to the lathe, I set up these blades in the vise, so I got them levelled. And it can be quite accurate, this. I know it doesn't look like it would be, but it can be. I'm not seeing very much. I mean, these surfaces aren't quite smooth enough. And to be honest, this isn't far enough out, but if it was out by much, you would see it roll. I know that from experience. If this is out, it's not by much. It just wants to roll. Oh, this is a no action movie, isn't it? I swear to you, it was rolling a moment ago. There we go. It's going. bringing that to the top. This is probably pointless, but I'm just going to clean up the collar at this end where it was running out a little bit. It's quite handy having this left-hand tool. You can see that's off quite a lot. I've taken a couple of cuts. Now I could be making it worse, but I think it's better to be concentric, don't you? So I will finish that off. I'll adjust my tool so I can get into this corner. That's better. I will just try it on the balance rig as a double check. I mean, I don't know that I could do anything about it, but it's worth checking before it goes together. Well, all that work was almost certainly a waste of time because I don't think there was enough out of balance force to make any difference. And equally, I don't think swapping the end covers makes any difference either because they both have the same casting number. I can't believe that they were line bored. So we'll just put it together and then I think that'll have to do. See what we've got. I've made sure there's no debris in here. So if I get it in carefully and make sure I don't catch a winding, line up the blue mark, and then we can play the game of trying to get this plate on, get the screws through it. This cannot be the right way, can it? Fishing for this plate with these screws. Now I've got that one in. This is probably a very boring video. Sorry for that. You know, I don't like the sound of that very much. To say they're brand new bearings. All we should hear from this is a hum. Listen to these and tell me what you think. That doesn't sound right at all to me. Now if I take it to the other end. Well, I was not happy with the economy bearings that I fitted. So I've bought branded bearings again. KSM, Minamiguchi Seiko, Japanese. Just as a reminder what these sounded like that are fitted right now. I think they're pretty awful. So I'm going to fit these. I won't show you the video doing that because you've seen it before, and I'll come back when I'm ready to run it. Oh, but I'll just show you this now because I won't be able to when they're fitted. There's the bearing number and the lot number as well. Now these were £60. The others were about 16. So in any currency, that's heading for 4 times the price. Midway, but I just wanted to show you, these bearings appear to be to a better tolerance because they're going into the housings more easily. About the same as the ones that came out. But also there's no rock on them, or it's hardly perceptible, whereas those economy bearings had quite a lot of rock on them. Now we shall see if this is all just blah 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 or amounts to something, won't we, in a minute. Also, these are stiffer to turn. Is that thicker grease? Is that tighter tolerance? I don't know, but there is a difference. Well, place your bets. Well, it was those economy bearings, wasn't it? Well, I'll give you the story on that. The bearings came from a company called Simply Bearings. Now, there's a few companies I use, but more often than not, I use Simply Bearings. And I found them to be very good. with customer service, speed of delivery, price is about what you'd expect. And I called them about those economy bearings and I sent them a video and I said, I'm sure these aren't right. Well, they were they don't know me. So they said, okay, well, buy the others. We'll send in them postage free. And then if you find that the economy bearings were defective, come back and talk to us. But they said they'd discussed it with the head of quality. And, you know, I'm sure that's what they did. Well, head of quality, if you're watching, those economy bearings are shit, okay? I don't normally swear on the channel, but I'm so annoyed because it's cost me so much extra work. So I will be in touch, and hopefully they'll stand by what they said and at least refund me on the economy bearings. It's been quite a lesson, that.